Well, hey guys, and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. It's March 21st. If you're wondering, yep, it's March 21st, and this means that we are starting a brand new master topic. That's right, guys. So, if you have never been here before, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you and, of course, welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. If you've been here before, well, of course, I want to say welcome back. It's always great to have people that enjoy the quality and content of the show that I produce here on the Inspirations for Your Life show. I'm really glad that all of you decided to be here. Saturday starts a brand new master topic for us, and it rolls all the way through the week. Now, our work week doesn't start on a Monday like most people's. Ours starts on a Saturday and it finishes up on a Friday, which we just did yesterday. By the way, this is Series 5, show number 13, episode number 1, because it is a Saturday. All right, guys, if you have not heard before or seen, I don't know if you guys are watching the show, you'll see I have a hat on that has some beautiful LED colors that say believemeachieve.com. You can't miss it. But if you're listening to the podcast, you can go to Believe, that's Believe, Believe, me, M-E, ACHIEVE.com 24 hours a day after the show is over. All right, guys. So without any further ado, I want to invite you to get comfortable, whether that's going to be, I don't know, getting a drink, getting something to eat, healthy or not, fruits, tart, whatever it is. Grab that, get yourself nice and cozy and comfortable, and we'll kick off the show. All right, everyone. So this week, it's all about see it right, live it strong. Series 5, show 13. And right now, we're going to kick off episode number 1. So, see it right, live it strong is our master topic for the entire week. And each day, we come up with another granular topic to help us become a better version of ourselves. Again, it is Saturday, and our first topic I'm going to get into in just a moment. But before I get into it, I want to let you know that I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And it is my privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to be with you here on the Inspirations for Your Life show. Yes, I'm so grateful to be here with all you wonderful people. So welcome, everyone, if I didn't say welcome enough times, to the Inspirations for Your Life show. This evening, I'm going to dive into the topic of seeing clearly, noticing what others miss, making stronger decisions, and stepping into a higher standard of living. When you see the truth faster, you act with confidence, guys. You reduce mistakes, and you build upon the unstoppable momentum that you start. So let's kick this right off, everyone, all right? So it is Saturday. It is March 21st, 2026. See what's really there. That is what the granular topic is, guys, for today's show. We went over what the master topic is. This is what the granular topic is. See what's really there. Number 1, guys, not everything is as it appears. Sorry to say that. Dig deeper to understand reality. I think a lot of people see things on the surface and they take that for what it is. It kind of reminds me of the tradition, if you ever gone to Alaska. I haven't gone there, but I do want to go there. And that is where we say, you're just looking at the tip of the iceberg. The real iceberg is way below, or we're just scratching the surface, or you're just dipping your toe in the water. You're not even getting your full, foot in the water, right? So these are important things to understand. Number 2, guys, first impressions are often incomplete. Giving situations a second look is something that's important. I know a lot of people make their judgment, make their decision based on a hunch, based on that first impression. And a lot of people are going to do this. Okay, don't get me wrong. I want to encourage you to not make a first impression. Even though a lot of people say to do it and be quick with it, I want you to make an impression based on what you see, hear, and observe. Not that first impression, because let's face it, something could have gone wrong, right? They could have had an issue with the dog or family or traffic or whatever. So don't make your lasting impression of the person or situation based on the first thing that happens, because things happen the first time. And if we don't give somebody that second chance, we may never get to find that diamond in the rough. All right, guys. So number 3 is look beyond what's obvious. Hidden patterns reveal keys to success. A lot of people are in this rush to get through something that they miss the pattern. And by missing the pattern, they throw away all opportunities for success to even start to grow. And that is really the truth, guys. People sometimes believe that if we could, take it slower, but people say, well, I don't have time to do it slow now. I'm going to do it slow later. I just want to get to the end. Okay, so if you get to the end of something, my question is, what do you do when you get to the end? Well, I don't understand it, or it didn't go right. So we're going to start over. So why are you rushing to get to the end of something when you're going to have to do the whole thing all over again if it's not right? I mean, that's just an oxymoron question, right? Number 4, guys, truth hides in small details. Tiny cues matter. When we're talking about things like this is something I learned from a seminar many years ago. The gentleman's name was Dr. Karras. I'm not sure if he's even around, but he had said something very interesting, something called funny money. And what he had said about funny money is that it's okay to deal in funny money, okay, if you are the one that is winning on funny money. If you're the one that is getting asked to deal in funny money and you don't understand it, you might get burnt. So what does that mean? Funny money is something that we don't obviously think of as money. We might say that, it's going to only be 4 cents a clip. 4 cents a clip is nothing, or a click. Okay, so until you take 4 cents, okay, and let's say that your office, okay, deals with, I don't know, let's say you deal with 10,000 copies. And on 4 cents, well, that's $400. So, but it can get larger with other things because what people don't realize, it's only this cent, it's only that cent. Also, funny money when you deal with the post office, when they have something called, return mail, where it's business reply mail. It might say, gee, these are small numbers. They are. But if everybody's sending your mailing back, are you prepared to know what that cost could be? So funny money is a way of saying that the amount of money or the cost of something is so minuscule that you probably don't even care, but you should care because it could add up to hundreds or thousands or even millions. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you. So guys, truth hides in those small details. And it doesn't have to be what Dr. Karras showed us. It could be as something as, you're ordering something, making sure you're getting the right color, making sure that you're ordering the right, plug type. If it's in America, the United States, as opposed to Europe, they have the 3-prong plugs, right? They have the two, they have the, they have the 2-prong. We have the 2-prong, but they have like the 3, and they have like the round one where we have the 2 blades, and then the ground at the bottom. Theirs is a little bit different. Theirs actually has like a little socket, and then you plug it in, and then the 2 posts, which are not blades. They're like round poles, very similar to the pole that we have on our ground. Okay, so I just wanted to make you aware of that. So number 5, guys, is most people miss what matters. Train your attention, learn to do this early on what's important. If you don't know what's important, well, it better be your business to figure out what's important, because if you keep doing things the way you're doing them, you're going to waste resources. Resources could be time, people, money, at all costs, right? Number 6, guys, clarity comes from attention. Focus determines the understanding. What we put our focus on, okay, is what's going to happen in our life. And a lot of people don't realize that, I can't walk, I can't do this, I can't do that. The more you focus on I can't, the more you're telling your body, okay, I don't want to walk. Okay, I can't do this. Okay, I'm going to be in pain. Whatever you tell your body, okay, is what your body is actually going to process. Okay, you say to yourself, oh, I'm not smart. Okay, you're not smart. I keep telling myself, I didn't get to be smart by telling my brain bad things. I realized that the diet I eat and the nutrition I put in my body is just as important as the nutrition I put into my mind every day. Hence the concept of believemeachieve.com. Hey guys, very happy to share with you that on April, make sure I'm giving you the right date here. On April 17th, guys, April, make sure I'm giving the right date. April 17th, I'll be dedicating the book, and I can't give you the title yet. On the 17th, I'll be dedicating the first copy of the book to my parents who will be coming to New Jersey, and I'll be letting them unwrap the book on camera. And I'll be reading the dedication to them right from the book and thanking them. And it'll be a short little program, and then the title will be revealed. Okay, so really excited about that. It is a 14 chapter book, excuse me. It's about 110 pages roughly, and each chapter takes about 30 minutes to read if you do the PNR, the pause and reflect. All right, so the book is coming out the day after that. The 17th, we'll have the book ready for order, which I think will be like the 18th or the 19th. And on May 1st, the book will be ready for shipping. It'll be ready for e-Kindle download. It'll also be ready for Audible listing. So there's a lot of good stuff happening. Number 7, guys, slow down to see more. Pausing reveals insights. Everyone I talk to is always in such a big rush, but then there are also the ones that complain that it's not working right. And the reason it's not working right is you're such in a hurry to get to the end. We need to enjoy the beginning. We need to enjoy that middle, even though the middle might be messy. And we need to enjoy the process of success. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not successful yet. No, enjoy the process. Enjoy the ride. Have you ever gone on a ride, whether it was at Disney or, let's say, Hollywood Studios or Universal Studios, or even an amusement park, right? Or, a carnival that comes to town. Enjoy the ride, right? The ride is so much fun. Number 8, guys, noise hides reality. Every single day we get noise. Filter distractions to see clearly. So what's noise? Noise could be other people talking around you. Noise could be things in your path that are preventing you from getting done what you need to get done. So it's very important that you learn when you're getting distracted. And if you are getting distracted, then you need to do something to make sure that distractions end. And that's not about being rude, guys. That's about being, I'm going to say, loving to yourself. Because if you don't respect and love yourself, no one else will. So if people are distracting you, you don't have to be nasty to them. You can just say, you just leave the situation. Let them have to go somewhere else. Go to the library. Go somewhere else. Maybe you're in college and you can't find a place to study. Go book a study room. Okay. Even now, I believe, depending on when you're watching this, spring is coming up. Go outside and study. Okay. Studying is supposed to be something that you enjoy, not something you have to do. And I think a lot of people well, it's not to say graduate school first, but I'm going to say undergraduate school, they go to college because they have to go to college. Myself included, when I went to college. I enjoyed it, but I went because I had to go. I don't know if I wanted to go, but it was different now that I'm in grad school. It's like, I really want to be there. I really want to do the very best I can. Where in undergrad school, I wanted to do well, but it was more about adjusting to the environment, to the people, to the teachers, to the expectations of what people wanted from me. So it was more than just going to college. It was a different phase of your life, right? One phase of your life starts when you're in grammar school. Another phase happens when you are in high school. Another phase happens when you're in college. Another phase happens when you graduate college. And there's other phases, but those are the ones I want to talk about right now. So if you're getting distractions, find out, are the distractions internal to your body or are they external? And either way, you have to figure out how you're going to get rid of those chattering monkeys inside or get away from those people that are, keep asking you questions. Maybe you have a family member and they say, oh, sure, you can study here. But you find that every time you're reading, you're doing, oh, I have a question for you. And you don't want to be rude, like, I'm trying to read this. I know, but I just have a question on this. And then you finally have to say, look, I got to go up to my room and study, or I have to go here. Like, I get that, you have an issue, but I got to study and I don't think you get it. And I need to go somewhere else because you keep calling me every 2 minutes. Number 9, guys, number 9, focus reveals the truth. Awareness separates signal from noise. So when we're aware of something, we're able to filter, or let's say, parse out the noise. You might have heard of maybe some of the old recordings that were done, and they're very scratchy now, whether they're on LP records or they're on cassette tapes. I think about cassette tapes is the more that you would play them. Still remember my Panasonic recorder. And I remember that one breaking after quite a few years. And then I got another one, and that one lasted for quite a while. So it was the idea, and I still remember to this day that if you put a tape in that let's say cassette player recorder, you put it in. And I remember my first one, you actually would press play and then hold the red record button down the center. The next one I got had the play button here, but if you press the center of the play button altogether, then it would go to record mode. You had your rewind button, right? You had your FF button for fast forward. You had your stop button. I even had another button on there called fast forward and RR rewind, which was like a double speed rewind and a double speed fast forward. And then I also remember on the side of the recorder was a jack where you had your 1/8 for your headphone and your earphone or headphone, and then you also had one for your mic. And I remember at the very beginning, recorders didn't have the voice capability, so they could automatically turn on. Later, I had gotten another portable one that actually could be turned on to the sensitivity of your voice. But I wanted to let you know that at awareness, when you listen to that tape, and we can use software now to take tapes that have been so many years old and actually using that technology and some math algorithms, we can actually remove the noise and actually strengthen the signal of the actual voice and lower everything else or totally eliminate it, which is pretty cool. All right. So when you're aware of it, we can address it and we can make the situation better. Number 10, guys, look deeper before judging. Premature conclusions waste our time. And I think sometimes people want to judge so they can move on. And I get that. All right. What I would say to you is don't judge. If there's a situation that you don't think is the way it should be, just don't put a lot of time into it. And you can see later on, does it change? Does it not change? But just don't attach to it so much. And you'll find out later on whether you should attach more or whether you should completely detach. Number 11, guys, surface thinking creates mistakes. Depth brings insight. Somebody says, oh, I just need an answer. And I remember in high school, so I just got to get the answer. Just got to get the answer. And my one teacher, I don't know if she's still alive. She's an amazing chemical engineer, chemist, engineer, physics. And she would always say to myself and other people, like, no, you need to know more than just the answer. Well, I just need how to get the answer for the test. You need to know how to get answers, not how to get the answer. There's a difference to getting the answer and be able to get answers, right? If we were talking about adding and subtracting and you understood the process of adding and subtraction, that's great. You could add and subtract any number, right? But if I said to you, here's the answer, but if you don't understand the process, and that's what happens to a lot of people I found out in graduate school versus, let's say, undergraduate school. Undergraduate school is more about getting the answers, getting good grades, but it's not about owning the material. In grad school, you are wanting to own the material. You want to do well on the tests, but really it's about owning that material that it becomes yours. Okay. Number 12, depth creates understanding, and context informs the action or actions we need to take. Number 13, guys, seeing clearly saves time. Accuracy reduces wasted effort. So don't waste time. Number 14, reality rewards awareness. Attentiveness pays off. The key is, why don't you start doing that? Number 15, look twice, decide once. Careful observation prevents errors. My grandfather on my dad's side, Grandpa Morley, he always said, measure twice, cut once. Why? Because you can only cut it You can never make it any bigger. You can make it smaller, but once you've made a mistake, you have to start all over with another block of wood or whatever you're using, wire, etc. Number 16, awareness builds advantage. Knowing more improves outcomes. Number 17, truth is often quiet. Subtle details matter. Even when we least suspect them, they sometimes come around to bite us and say, wait a minute, you forgot about me. Number 18, distraction blocks insight. Minimize the interruptions that you have. I'm not saying you can get rid of every interruption, but you need to minimize them so you can at least get what you need done and focus. Number 19, vision improves outcomes. Seeing clearly changes decisions. And again, when I say seeing clearly, I'm not just talking about our two eyes that our creator gave us so wonderfully, but I'm talking about the whole experience, about being part of the situation and knowing what's going on. Number 20, guys, awareness creates control. Understand what it is before you jump to conclusions and act. Number 21, details change decisions. Notice what others ignore. You'll find out that if you take time to figure out what other people ignored, you'll be successful. And they have missed that opportunity. And then once you've been successful, they're going to want to come back and say, oh, I was going to do that. Well, why didn't you do it? Number 22, clear sight builds confidence. Certainty grows with knowledge. Number 23, what you see shapes the action. Perception drives the behavior. Let me say that again. What you see creates it, but the perception drives the behavior. Number 24, guys, train your focus daily. Practice enhances the skill. When we practice, we don't become perfect, we get better. I had a teacher, and the teacher said to me, John, we don't practice to become perfect. We practice to make our work better. Does it become close to perfect? Sometimes, yeah. Number 25, look for what others ignore. Opportunities hide in plain sight. I've seen times when people just miss what you would think is the simplest thing, but it's not that it's simple. It's that because I am an outside bystander looking at something as opposed to somebody that's internal, I don't have all that emotional attachment. So I'm not looking in just one spot. My eyes are not laser focused in one place. They're able to see potential opportunities. Number 26, guys, clarity reduces risk. Informed choices prevent loss. I'm not saying you're never going to have risk, but the key to what smart people do is they look at risk and say, okay, this is a risk I have. This is the possibility. We have risk here, we have risk there. Which is the best way that I should proceed with the least amount of risk? I'll give you an example. Going swimming, right? You're going swimming and you're diving into the water. And of course, you always should be careful when you dive. But maybe you're not sure where it's safe to dive. So you look at some things. First of all, you've been in the water before. Now you know where the depth is a little better. Or now you know that diving on this side, even though they're both deep, you know that this side is safer because there's no sharp edges or there's no barnacles or there's no whatever in our way to possibly injure us. Number 26, guys, clarity reduces informed choices, and it will also help us prevent loss. So clarity helps us prevent risk. It also helps us prevent loss. Clarity gets us to see the full picture, not just the tree, not just the squirrel, not just the birds or the blades of grass or the dirt, right? It helps us see the whole entire forest. And what I found is some people have tunnel vision where they only see the squirrel or the tree, or people only see the whole forest, but they're not able to zoom in on those different elements. They might say, well, gee, what's the difference? You need to be able to do both. You need to be able to look at the whole picture, and then if you see something that's out of whack, you zoom into like, oh, I got to check that. I'll give you an example. So AI recently solved the problem that took people, I think, months to even come close to doing. The system did a detection, finding a very tiny red dot in one of the pixels from a camera. No one else picked this up. It was very small. And it picked it and zoomed in, and it figured out that that little dot is a helmet. They later went digging in, and yes, it was a helmet, and that was the person that had been missing. So these little tiny nuances that we would just brush off are sometimes the key to helping us find the answer. Number 27, guys, awareness creates power. Knowledge is leverage, but we have to remember knowledge is a tool. We need to use it for the greater good of all concerned. We don't want to use it to harm or hurt anyone or to try to over empower someone to make this be like a dictatorship. Number 28, guys, seeing well is a skill. And I'm not just talking about our beautiful eyes. I'm talking about developing it intentionally. So seeing it with our mind, our heart, and yes, our soul, if you believe in all that, which I do. You need to realize seeing is not just the eyes. Seeing is a perception of the reality that is around us in this world. Okay? Seeing is another word for seeing, sensing, right? Robots, and I know this isn't really a tech show, but we're getting to some of these points because they make sense. Robots don't really know things around them, but they have sensors. Sensors that can tell the position of their arms, sensors that can tell what's in front of them. They can measure distance, see objects, etc. So they sense the world, report back the data, and then based on numbers, they're able to turn that into something, whether it be a picture, whether that be an image, what have you. Our body does the same thing. We have our eyes, we can smell, we can hear, we can touch, we can taste. Now, maybe I'm in a dark room and I don't know if I'm going to hit something. So I'm going really slow and I have my hand out, maybe a foot in front of me. And I'm walking slowly and I'm noticing, I just touched a wall and it's cold. So we get senses. And if we could apply that correctly, then guess what, guys? We can use those, let's say, attributes to help us adjust. Number 28, practice noticing more. Repetition sharpens observation. I think a lot of people say, you know what, I've done this already. I don't want to do this anymore. You're not an expert. You can always get better. Number 30, clear vision changes everything. Awareness transforms life, guys. It sure does. I thank everyone tonight for joining me on this amazing episode of Inspirations for Your Life. Remember, everyone, seeing clearly empowers your decisions and your actions. Visit believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations that can strengthen your clarity, focus, momentum, anytime, anywhere. That's believemeachieve.com. Start becoming aware today and the rest of your life.